Good morning, and welcome to Unity in Harlem Sunday worship service, and particular to the community of Africans, African Americans. I say Grand Rising. Unity in Harlem, located at 318 West 139th Street in the village of Harlem, welcomes you here in person and those who virtually attend via the internet. And I'd like to let you know exactly what Unity in Harlem is. Unity in Harlem is an open, inclusive, diverse, welcoming spiritual community that sees each person as a creation of the divine spirit. Through the study of metaphysical interpretation and in the Bible and other sacred literature, you are invited to discover your own divinity. Our Sunday service, worship service, invites you to discover your wholeness as a unique expression of the divine spirit. Today's schedule includes, in the order, the opening celebration song sung by Marie Ponce, Your Spirit by Tasha Cobb Leonard. After that, we have the announcements, for which I'll return afterwards. The announcement after Bob will present us with the Unity in Harlem affirmation. The next portion of the service takes us into the quiet of the mind and spirit. That will take us to the next portion, which is the preparation for the meditation. The meditation and talk will be given by our leader and minister, Carol J. Hunt. And today's talk is making the most of a good thing. Afterwards, we'll have the minister's moment. Then the minister called for prayer and requests. Tithes and offerings can be given in person as well as online. The information is on the screen. Marie Ponce will return to offer us a song of inspiration, bringing us to the closing moments of the service. The minister will end the service with a prayer of protection, seen on the screen, followed by the peace song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. I will return right after Marie Ponce's song of inspiration.
Wow, thank you so much, Orrin Hercules. Yay. Oh, it's good to see some people in the congregation here, some friends. Hi, you guys. Woo-hoo. All right. Yeah, I love this song by Tasha Cobb Leonard. Thanks so much for that introduction. It's in your program, so if you want to bring it out. And then later, we're going to be able to hear the answers or the questions about making the most out of a good thing from our Reverend Carol J. Hunt. All right, so everybody, let's you can stand if you want to. The programs are in the back there with the lyrics in them. Let's sing this song. Or if you want to listen, that's fine too. It's up to you. You too. Not by might. Not by might. Not by power. By your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might. Not by power, by your spirit, God, send your spirit, God. You are the fire, we are the temple, you are the voice, we are your song. You are the fire. We are the temple, you are the voice, we are your song. You are our God, we are your temple, you are the light, we stand in awe. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you. Chorus. Not by might. Not by might. Not by power. By your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might. Not by power. By your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. You called us out of the darkness into your love, into your light. You called us out of the darkness into your love, into your light. Grace upon grace, beauty for ashes. You come to us, we come alive. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you. Come on, sing it. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Your own. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Breathe, come now, breathe on us, Spirit, breathe, come now, breathe on us, breathe. Breathe, dear own. Breathe. Breathe on us. Breathe on us. Breathe. Breathe on us. You want to speak it? Breathe on us. Breathe on us. Breathe on us. Breathe on us. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of us. Breathe. Breathe on us, breathe on us, breathe on us. the spirit that surrounds us everywhere we go, the air we breathe, the sun we feel on our faces. Breathe, breathe. We receive it, we receive it. We receive the blessings. We thank you for saving our lives, for giving us life. Oh, let us cherish that life right now. Cherish that life. You brought us from a mighty, mighty long way, haven't you, God? All right. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. You just raise your hand and just say thank you. Thank you. As we welcome the illustrious. I love this man. He says always has good stuff to say. He's an inspiration. Mr. Orrin Hercules. Whoa. I found some amazing things about him last week. You have quite an amazing, wow. You're an artist. You're an animator. Come on up here and give us who you are, man.
Thank you, Marie. That was truly inspirational. I'm really inspired. And I'm here to give you the weekly activities and the announcements for this week. Unity in Harlem has meditations at Pillars every Thursday at 12 noon. You can call at 212-222-3470 for the link. Unity in Harlem also offer meditations at Morehouse for older adults. These are the announcements for the week. Unity in Harlem's connection by phone is 929-205-6099. And the Zoom connection is 698-428-2725 with the passcode of 777-7777. On Tuesday, the study group. Join us for the Sermon on the Mount by Emmett Fox, your guide to successful living. On Friday, Unity in Harlem's Prayer Circle is at 6 p.m. Release and let go in the comfort of prayer. Unity in Harlem Gospelgram for September and October. Well, September is over, but October on Facebook. Anyone wanting to speak to the minister about a personal matter, no matter what, is available. And you can call her, feel free to call her at 646-481-1844. Next Sunday, October 13, the guest speaker, Reverend Juan Enrico Toro. And on October the 20th, the topic, making the most out of a rare thing. So that ends my announcement, and I'll return. We'll go to Bob for the Unity in Harlem affirmation. Thank you.
Isaiah 55 verse 11 says, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it." Unity affirmations speak to the power of our words, and particularly the power of I am. And so we say this affirmation every Sunday to affirm our divine nature. The words are on the screen, and I invite you to say them with me. I am an abundant, radiating center of God's love and light, for peace, healing, and inner truth for all.
Wow, and now as we turn inward and begin to prepare for a meditation, that meditation can really just cleanse the extra thoughts that you have, the things that really might not belong there right now or anytime. Sometimes for me, I don't know about you, but let's take this opportunity to just have some clarity in that way before Carol Hunt begins our meditation with the song, My Dedication, which I love so much. Wow. A new arrangement of the song. Here I am, Lord, use me, guide me, fill me, guide me, fill me, take me, lead me by your will. Here I am, Lord. Here I am, Lord, ready to follow, to serve you, to follow, to serve you, to love you, to be you in this world. Thy will is done through me this day. Thy will is done through me this day. Thy will is done through me this day. One more time. Thy will is done through me this day. Lord, you call, I answer. Lord, you call, I answer. I'm open, I listen, I hear you, I feel you moving me. Lord, I come closer, humble, surrendered, lifted, committed to your plan. Thy will is done. It's an affirmation to me this day. Thy will is done to me this day. Thy will is done to me this day. Thy will is done. Thy will is done through me this day. Here I am. Here I am, Lord. Lord, I come. Here I am. Here I am, Lord. Lord, I come. Here I am, Lord. Lord, I come. Wow, and just think of those words. Yeah, we don't have to stretch for anything. We don't have to reach for anything. How God has worked with us and molded us. I see on the thing, it says, as the clay is in the potter's hand, So are you in my hand? That's Jeremiah 18:6. It's just so much what this song says. We just piece of clay. Things happen. We get molded. We get better because of all those things that happen. We think, what happened to me? But let me not go on and on because Carol is the one. Let's get this meditation started as we change the lights and get into a mode of calmness and centeredness and beauty. Carol J. Hunt, Reverend Carol J. Hunt.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Orrin and Bob. As we begin our worship service for today, your dedication and contribution is so valued and beloved. We now quiet ourselves, find a place of stillness, your space, that place you know so well. Whether you close your eyes or not is not important. That you simply call yourself to be quiet. Be quiet from within out. Whatever is surrounding you, you no longer pay any attention to it. Whatever thoughts you may have about a few moments from now, about tomorrow or yesterday, you call yourself to set them aside as you begin to rely on your breath to bring quiet and stillness to your mind and feeling. Connecting to your breath, feeling the rhythm of the easy inhalation and exhalation. Let that rhythm overtake you now. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Release, let go. Release and let go. Be still. Be still. Be still and know. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Breathe in deeply again. And exhale. Search for places in your body that might feel uncomfortable. Take in a deep breath and send the breath to those places. Relax them. And do that again. Breathe in deeply. Send the breath. Relax those places. Your feelings. Search them out. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Relax them. Peace, be still to them. Peace. Peace. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. As you breathe in deeply again, hold the breath. Hold the breath for 5. Exhale the breath for 7. Begin now. Once more, breathe in deeply. Hold the breath for 5. Exhale slowly for 7. You feel quiet. You feel still. You feel open and receptive to the silence within you. Open and receptive. Open the door of your heart. And release all the good that's stored there. Those feelings of love and harmony and compassion. Let that flood your surroundings as your spirit is lifted in the true nature of who you are. Allow divine love to flow through you. That divine, powerful love that seeks to heal every broken spirit, every broken relationship, every broken idea. Let the power of love flow through your body temple, healing every bit of who you are. Feel the power of love enfolding you, accepting you, saying yes to you. Love seeks no conditions. Love is. Love is who you are by your spiritual and divine nature. Let love as you be you right now. There is only love, divine love, right here, right now. Love is always present. Turn your attention to it. Remember it. And know I am love. I am love made manifest right here, right now. Be lifted in love. Be healed in love. Be compassionate in love. Let harmony flow in love. Feel the power as love, knowing all things are possible when you love, when you let love flow. We breathe in this truth. I am love. We release this energy. I am love. Right here, right now. And as our thoughts flow back to this space, this moment, and we breathe in and out, love remains, love continues. Love continues to be expressed right here, right now. Feeling free, feeling relaxed, feeling refreshed, feeling ready. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in deeply. Exhale fully. Feel the breath flow through your body. Relaxed. Open and receptive. You are fully here. In the name of your divine nature, the Christ. Amen. Today, first Sunday in October, we have the opportunity to think about the phrase, making the most of. Today, excuse me, is probably an undergirding of this make the most of that will carry through the month. We're having 2 guest speakers. I believe one of them will be considering this theme. I believe one of the, Orrin earlier said one of them is making the most of a rare thing. I believe the last Sunday, it's making the most of the only thing. So you can begin to think about that. And how it will be developed. Now, this phrase, making the most of, we know it, we say it a lot. So it's very familiar. You can hear somebody, or even you saying, oh, I'm going to make the most of it. Now, it is a phrase that is dependent on how the person says it. It can also be said with strong determination. Oh, I'm going to make the most of this. You know, it's a good thing. I'm going to make the most of this. And as I said before, it can be said, oh, I'll just make the most of it. So our purpose is to understand the meaning of the phrase, and when a true student is making the most of whatever it happens to be. And as I was saying, the words do reflect how we say it. When we say it, I'll make the most of this. Sometimes it has a sense of finality to it, a fait accompli, nothing you can do about it. It just is. But when we say it with determination, oh, I'm going to make the most of this, it has the sense and sound of I've got this. When we say the words, and means our community, we want to remember what a good thing really is and make the most of it. So it raises, what is a good thing? And I'm suggesting today there's only one good thing. And so when I say the word good from now on, unless I change it, it is uppercase, all the letters. The first principle of unity is God is absolute good, everywhere present. This is how Ellen Davenport expresses it in her book, The 5 Principles, which she wrote in 2009. we may be more familiar with, as I am, because this was the one that was being said all the time in some form or another. Not that the first one is always being said in unity circles all the time, but the one I'm more familiar with, there is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God, the good. Now, in these two versions, you may prefer the shortened version or the more explicit version. It's really up to the individual. I tend to like the more explicit version because the word God still tends to be a presence outside of ourselves, even for those of us who are in New Thought. We are in this consciousness of time when God has thought of it that way, that God is talked about that way, felt that way, and even though we all work on allowing ourselves, reminding ourselves, it comes from within out. And that goes for what we see out too. Nature, the animals, it's within out. Because it is the one presence and one power expressing out. But I still tend to lean toward the longer version because of this word, God. The notion upon reading the words God is absolute good, everywhere present, doesn't do enough as far as I'm concerned as a definition. Unless we commit ourselves to begin to use the name for God in different ways. The word God carries so much baggage, it is difficult to see why most is everywhere present, because so much of what people see and experience is a contradiction to how God has been defined through most religions and spiritual circles. The second version of the principle does, however, personalize it enough for any person to begin to contemplate this presence, this power as themselves. Not all of the presence and power, however, but some of it as it is expressed by you and by me. A little history about the word itself as we have accepted it in unity through the Judeo-Christian written interpretation. We know there was not a word for this force, this power, this principle. The Hebrew people had no name for it and did not spell it out in their writings. Ellen Davenport says, every adult should re-examine his or her view of God at least once a decade. The word itself and how you express it. This reminds me of what Eric Butterworth would say. Unity should take a look at its basic beliefs every generation. That's about like every 25 years or so. And change, bring it up to date with the words and their interpretations. Even Charles Fillmore said he reserved the right to change his mind. So what served you as a definition of God at 10 years old would not be the same at 20, and certainly not 50, 60, 70. For myself, I changed all the way along. But God was God. Change that, God was God. I turned to Jesus, rather. It was always, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus say? It was never, what would God do? Or what would God say? The challenge to actually review the idea of who and what God is requires you ask the question that Moses asked. Who shall I say sent me? Or put another way, who shall I say made me, gives me breath, tells me what to do, forgives me, helps me, loves me? Referencing the Hebrews again, it wasn't until Moses received his answer through his self, his divine self. Tell them, I am sent you. I am made you. My I am loves you. Now, where do we find it tells Moses to tell Pharaoh God sent him? It does not. This is the name for God that Moses heard in his innermost being. That's all you can say. Today, though, through the innermost being of many spiritual icons, the I am is also divine mind. It is also the Christ. It is also absolute good. Again, fast forwarding 400 years later, for the Hebrews, this name that had no name had been diluted, explained, dissected, reconstituted into 600 different rules and regulations that became the guiding principle developed by Levites, Pharisees, Sadducees to control the Jews in their pursuit to be a simple, righteous, upstanding Jew. We are in our own pursuit to be a simple, righteous, upstanding, true student. Jesus comes along from his own innermost being and decides the name that has no name can be called Father. He begins to teach and demonstrate what a father who loves unconditionally acts like and sounds like. Probably the most important demonstration to his inner circle, Jesus' inner circle, that eventually flowed to the outer circle, is the time he spent in contemplation, meditation, and prayer. It is through this practice that Jesus was guided to speak in parables, share teachings that faith is the key to healing. It is the power to heal independent of another's faith. The symbolic metaphysical meaning of rising to a new ongoing life. It was through the practice of contemplation, meditation, and prayer that he experienced the good, the absolute good. We know the parables, the healings, and the demonstrations are in the whole Old Testament and flow through the New Testament. We follow the way show of Jesus, the way to make the most of a good thing. We know now how he made the most of a good thing, absolute good. In this case, it is to practice meditation and prayer. For him, it was the only way. There is no baggage in divine mind. There is no baggage in in the Christ. There is no baggage in I am. There's no baggage in absolute good. There is the story of Jesus at meditation and prayer after the Passover feast. He and the disciples went to the Garden of Gethsemane, where he shared with them he was feeling so depressed and so sorrowful. He asked them to stay with him as he prayed. He specifically asked for Peter, James, and John to come with him. He brought all of the disciples, all of his faculties with him. But he separated out Peter, James, and John. So understand what I am saying here. We follow the practice of the disciples representing our faculties. So he took them all. We take them all with us every day. Wherever we go, we take them too. He brought all the disciples and the faculties with him, but separated out these three. Let's remember, we tend to instinctively feel the need to pray when we're in crisis. Jesus felt he was in crisis and went off to pray. When he returned to the three, they were sleeping. They were sleeping because they had a couple of glasses of wine at the Passover feast. This scenario happened to Jesus 3 times. In fact, he said, "Couldn't you keep watch with me for 1 hour?" He said that three times. "Watch and pray," he said, "so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." And how many times have we heard that? When we break this down, Jesus brought all his faculties with him to this crisis that he was experiencing, but selected Peter, representing faith, James, representing judgment, and John, representing love. This is where the work had to go on. Faith, judgment, love. But let's not miss the point. He was not working on faith, judgment, and love in the same way that Peter, James, and John needed to. They were asleep. We know that faith, judgment, and love was working for Jesus, because he finally came to a place of transformation regarding what he was depressed about when he said, "Not my will, but your will." He did that through the times that he was praying and meditating. Peter, James, and John, on the other hand, in the words of the New Testament, they had not kept themselves quickened or alert to what was happening. In the words of today, we would say they weren't prayed up. That's how we summarize it. Or we say, "I wasn't prayed up." Or we say, "You need to get prayed up." So the three of them, this is where the core of the story has its meaning. It was about Peter, James, and John. And while there is something there about Jesus as the way shower that's important, the lesson is about the humanness of Peter, James, and John. Faith, judgment, and love as them were allowed to become dull, sluggish, self-centered, and no ability to discern constructively. They were not even near what Jesus was going through. Their discernment, zip. Jesus said, watch and pray so you don't fall into temptation. That's what he told them. And that's what he's saying to us. Without prayer and meditation and contemplation, what happens? Our faith, our judgment, our love gets sluggish, gets dull. We can't figure out what to do. We keep saying, what shall I do? What shall I do? Our power of discerning takes a hike. There are many exciting questions here for discussion. However, more importantly is the challenge to keep on high alert, faith, judgment, and love, as this particular story is suggesting. Now, there are others of our faculty that we need to do that, but you need to know that personally for yourself. In this particular setting, it is these three, because this is where Jesus was at. Even though you carry with you the other 9 faculties all the time, because we've witnessed the example of Jesus always, seemingly, calling out faith, judgment, and love. We get the message of their power and the need for us to cultivate them in the prayer process consistently. By that I mean daily, growing to more than once or 2 times a day. So let me close with this. Have a place in your home that is for meditation and prayer only. That's all you do there. Dedicated. Start by having a specific time and keep to that time daily. Surround yourself with tools of your choice. Music, candles, incense, crystals, or just yourself looking out a window. This is what we must do to get the most out of the good, the absolute good. Otherwise, our faculties are manifesting at a level that we are denying who and what we really are. Children, creations of the good, the absolute good. Blessings, my loved ones. Let us take time now for any prayer requests that you may have. And always remember that the form, your 4 prayer requests are at the door, and you can put it in the basket. And Unity Harlem will pray with you. And so we take time now for your prayer requests, and then we'll move right into tithes and offering. As we close our eyes and just take a moment to reflect and think about what we desire to call forth. And allow the Spirit within ourselves to breathe the breath of the divine toward and through those things that are of concern to us. We think and feel of how grateful and thankful we are that we're always given a way out, a new way to see, a new way to be. In this travel, this journey we call truth. How blessed we are that we know there's no place to go to seek it, no place other than right here within ourselves. And so from this depth and source within us, we say thank you. We say we're blessed by the faith that heals, the power to know right from wrong, the understanding of what direction to go in, what words to say at any given time. We simply get still. We call for stillness when we ride the subway. We call forth stillness when we stand at the corner. We can call forth stillness at any time. Clear our mind and see clearly once more. Hear distinctly again and call forth love fully. In this circle of energy, you place your concern now, knowing your heart's desire. It's done. It's complete. It comes forth from the absolute good and can be no other. We know this in the name and in our own nature. The good, the absolute good. Amen. We think now about the gift that we would share. And as we see these gifts for those of us here, we also in our imagination see our friends online and the gift that they would share with Unity in Harlem. We bless the gifts. We give thanks for everyone and for each person. And we see all the gifts being used to go forth and be part of the transforming nature of our world as we know it in the Christ. As we give, so we receive. As we give, so we receive. We bless the gifts and the giver. And say this prayer that we share every Sunday. I will say it first, and then you can join me in saying it together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Shall we know it together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. So be it. Amen. Today, I'd just like to take a moment to share. When you came in, there was a flyer in the back at the door. And the flyer, I didn't bring it with me. I want to get the words right. Concerns an opportunity that Unity in Harlem has been invited to participate in, which I think is wonderful. Sometimes, in the growth of a country and individuals, we get locked into thinking that, well, the things that happened to us, we were the only ones. But when we realize that every nation or town or city has challenges with getting along with one another. That's my short version. And so we have been invited to share in what is called Caste Liberation Day in India. And this is the day they come together to talk about the ending of the caste system. We know a little bit about celebrating our own liberation days, and in particular one with Juneteenth. So I've been invited to be a speaker, and I'll be honored to put my words together and share with many people, and particularly with brothers and sisters in India. On October 14th, 2024. I won't say the time right now because I'm not really sure. But when we know the time, I think there's a little change. I will certainly let you know because we'll get the link Bob will get the link and be able to send it out to everyone. So we have a little time. So just wanted to alert you to it. And we'll have flyers here next Sunday as well. And you can pick them up. And I don't know if Bob put the flyer on the screen. No, not yet. All right. But hopefully he will. And put it on Facebook so people can see it maybe. Perhaps. We'll see. All right. So now we'll have our, beg your pardon? Oh, it's Columbus Day. I didn't even think about that.
Columbus Day, it's Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh, Indigenous Peoples Day. Oh, all right. Yes, because this, all right, yes.
Columbus has been fired from that holiday.
Yes, yes, yes. As Bob said, Columbus has been fired from that holiday. So we will now have our inspiration song with Marie.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thanks, Bob. I would have said it myself, but I'm so glad that you did. Woohoo. Okay. Well, we're going to sing a song that's a medley of different songs, and in your program it says one thing, but we're going to actually start with I release and I let go, and then after that we're going to be doing this is the day that the Lord has made, and then I will enter His gates in Thanksgiving, and circle back to I release and I let go. So let's stand up. Let's get our bodies going, our minds going, everything. Put your hands together. Woohoo! I release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here again. I release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, this is the day. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. The programs are in the back. I will rejoice. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will enter His gate. I will enter His gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter His courts with praise. I will say this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, for He has made me glad. He has made me glad. He has made me glad. I will rejoice, for He has made me glad. He has made me glad. He has made me glad. I will rejoice, for He has made me glad. I release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Everybody say, I release. 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 I let spirit run my life. 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 I release. I release. I release. I release. I release. I release. All right. Did you get a good time? Was that a good time? Did you have a good time just now? I did. Did you? I hope you did. Okay, come on. What's next, Carol? And thank you so much for that talk. That was awesome.
All right, it's time for our prayer protection. And I would suggest we stand. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we close with our peace song.
Okay, thank you. All right. If you know it, go sing it. You too. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous fall. To take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. All right. We're like a beacon of peace for everybody, aren't we? All right. Yay.